let's finish up with the last game of the playoff first round, which is San Diego Portland. Also went to 3 games. Portland tried to hold off this high scoring attack, but they ended up conceding 8 goals over 3 matches and moving on through penalties at home in a 2-2 match at home, even just to force a game 3. It was never going to be easy, but they got beaten down 4-0 away from home in game 3 to seal their fate. San Diego, they like to score goals, and it comes from one man. It's Andres. It doesn't come from one guy, but it's mainly off of the play of one guy, Andres Dreyer. Can Andres Dreyer take these guys all the way?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like LAFC and Vancouver are a bit better in my opinion. But San Diego after game two, it really felt like we were about to get another year of a one seed going down. You hold your breath on that one. I think this okay. I think this one was a little bit more comparable to a St. Louis situation where it was an unexpected rise to the West in your first season, and then coming into the playoffs, you trip up. But they really had a good statement in game three. They came out and they smacked Portland. I know there was a red card, but that was after all 4 goals were scored. So, they beat them with 11 on 11.
Yep.
Um, a good statement win for them. I think they set up well against Minnesota in the next round, but I still feel like they are, in my opinion, a little bit behind Vancouver or LAFC, whoever comes out of that game, in that other Western Conference game. I think Dreyer is fantastic and he's going to be a handful for whatever team is going against San Diego. But I think they're also like on the flip side, they're going to struggle to hold and contain guys like Buanga or Sun.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not going to spoil anything because we're in next episode. Make sure you subscribe to see it. We'll share our thoughts on that. But I do think that there are limitations to the way they play the game, and it is tough for an expansion team to be that good that early, right? Portland, on the other hand, they just weren't that good this year, were they? They did get into the playoffs. They won their playing game, whatever, but just really didn't do much, did they? And now you got to figure out what's next, right? So -7 goal differential, a group of players, again, Jonathan Rodriguez hurt for the year, absolutely killed them, no doubt, right? Bring in central midfield depth, Felipe Carballo tears his ACL right off the bat, right? Brutal stuff. I like the way that they've built the team through the middle window, right? Christoph Velde looks like an absolute baller. I think Matias Rojas, if you give him enough time to play, I think he will be a very, very good player. Get Jonathan Rodriguez back, you'll be okay, but they are looking older. Diego Chara, about to be 40, right? We're not even talking wrong side of 30 anymore. We're talking wrong side of 40, which is crazy. They've got some youth pieces, but again, it's a lot of experience, it's a lot of age, and you wonder what comes next for this group. Are they gonna try and go young? Are they gonna, lean into the experience? What do you think?
I don't dislike what Portland has on the roster. As you said, I think there's a lot of talent in this team. They added good people in the midseason. They were a little bit unfortunate to have certain players get injured, but I still feel like there's a lot to work with here. I just feel like Neville's not the guy. I think that's just the conclusion here. I think you gotta try it out with a new coach next year, in my opinion.
Ooh, okay.
Um, I think I understand that there's nothing he could really do when Jonathan Rodriguez gets hurt for the year. But I still feel like there was enough talent on this team to have done maybe a little bit more than just squeak into a play-in game and then bounce out in the first round. I mean, I look at the U22s for this team, and I genuinely feel like that might be the best U22 group in the entire league. Like Anthony Ayala and Kelsey as your U22 group, like that's fantastic. All three of those guys are great players, and I feel like they contribute a decent amount to this team. I mean, Anthony had 12 goals. Ayala was 33 matches played for them. Kelsey also doing what he does, not playing a lot of minutes, but scoring goals when he gets out there. And I think they have good designated players too. I think there's going to be a little bit of a balance of trying to squeeze in guys into the other spaces in the salary cap. But to me, the biggest thing I think is just I think they need a new coach. I don't think Neville's getting much more out of this team.
I don't disagree with you, but I also would like to revisit your comment on they've got good designated players because the production out of this designated player group, specifically one David da Costa, is very underwhelming.
Yeah, I agree
Since
on
since the end of July into the playoffs, so we're looking at
that.
3.5 months, 0 goals, 0 assists. That is not designated player quality, my friend. Right? And um, that worries me, right? If I'm there and that's the guy I'm going to build around, that worries me. I think Christoph Velde is high potential. I think he'll be a good player, and I'm hoping that having chemistry between them eventually pays off. But I'm worried that David DaCosta is trying to fill Evander's shoes and isn't going to get it done, and that is going to be difficult to for any coach to build around because you have a system that was built around a player who wanted out, and now you have all these players who are supposed to play off of this one guy. Uh-oh, now he's not here. What do we do now? So, um, yeah, definitely a bit worried on that end, but I'm real interested to see where they go with it because there are, like you mentioned, there are pieces that they've gone here, right? David Ayala is a good younger player. Finn Sermon came in and did a decent job. Anthony, solid, right? Kevin Kelsey, high potential. And then there's kind of a gap, right? You got David DeCosta who's 24 and can start giving you minutes, but or start producing at a higher level if he steps up. But everybody else is pushing towards 30, pushing towards 35, some pushing towards 40. It's like, is this the team who finished in eighth place on a -7 goal differential that you want to have run back again and say, oh yeah, we're going to run it back one more time? Like Seattle, when they had players at this level, were pushing the top two of the West. These guys are pushing the play-in game. Is that the team you want to run back, or do you want to start turning it over early? I would lean towards the latter personally, but I'm not in charge. I just sit here and talk about soccer on the internet. So
Yep. And with takes like that, you're going to continue to sit here talking about it on the internet.